Reflexes, agility, distribution. These are the traits that separate an ordinary goalkeeper from a modern phenomenon. And for years, André Onana embodied all three. From the time he first pulled on a pair of gloves as a kid in Cameroon, coaches whispered about his unusual calm. He didn't just dive for the ball, he directed play. By his early teens, those whispers carried across continents. The fabled La Masia Academy of FC Barcelona opened its doors to him. For a boy who grew up idolizing Samuel Eto'o, the idea of training where Xavi and Iniesta perfected their craft felt almost unreal. At La Masia, Onana's education went beyond the art of goalkeeping. He learned the geometry of possession football, the discipline of building from the back, and the nerve required when 90,000 fans hold their breath as you receive the ball at your feet. Even as a teenager, he played like an outfield player trapped in a goalkeeper's body. But opportunity rarely follows a straight line. Barcelona's senior squad already had a world-class keeper in Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and the path to the first team was blocked. So in 2015, the 19-year-old made a bold move. He signed for Ajax, a club famous for trusting youth. It was there, in Amsterdam, that the world truly learned his name. Within a year, he was starting Champions League matches. Tall, athletic, and startlingly confident on the ball, Onana looked like the prototype of the next generation. Not only could he make the fingertip saves, he could split a defense with a 30-yard pass. Ajax's coaches used him almost as an 11th outfield player. When the team went on their miraculous 2018-19 run to the Champions League semifinal, his quick throws and laser-guided long balls were the launch pad for counterattacks that left Europe's giants dizzy. Pundits called him the future of goalkeeping. Top clubs circled. It seemed only a matter of time before he'd command one of the biggest stages. Then came a twist nobody expected. In early 2021, UEFA announced a 9-month ban after he tested positive for the banned substance furosemide. Onana explained that he had accidentally taken medication prescribed to his wife, and later hearings agreed there was no intent to cheat, but the punishment was brutal. 9 months of competitive exile can derail any career, especially for a goalkeeper whose rhythm depends on match sharpness. Many wondered whether he would return the same, but resilience runs deep in Onana's story. When the ban ended, he faced skepticism and the challenge of reclaiming his place. By the summer of 2022, a new chapter opened. Inter Milan came calling. In Italy, under Simone Inzaghi, he quickly became more than just a shot stopper. His sweeping style, fearlessly rushing off his line, hitting pinpoint passes, gave Inter a dimension few Serie A teams could match. By June 2023, Onana had played a starring role in Inter's march to the Champions League final. Against Manchester City, he produced passes that most midfielders would envy, and saves that kept Inter in the fight. Though Inter fell short, Onana's reputation soared. Clubs across Europe noticed. One of them was a former mentor, Erik ten Hag, at Manchester United. United were seeking a philosophical shift. After a decade of David De Gea, a traditional reflex specialist, Ten Hag wanted a goalkeeper comfortable acting as an extra defender, someone who could break an aggressive press with one measured pass. Onana, who had already thrived under Ten Hag at Ajax, fit the vision perfectly. The club paid close to £50 million and handed him the iconic #1 shirt. This was supposed to be the start of a new era. Instead, it became a trial by fire. From the very first Champions League night in a United jersey, scrutiny turned savage. In Munich, a routine shot slipped under his body. Versus Galatasaray, a wayward pass sparked disaster. In the Premier League, early season lapses fed a narrative that he was reckless, not revolutionary. Social media amplified every mistake. Pundits pounced. Rival fans turned each clip into a meme. Replacing a club legend is a thankless job. David De Gea had been United's safety net for 12 seasons. Every Onana misstep triggered instant comparisons. And unlike Inter's well-drilled defensive block, United's backline was often a patchwork of injuries and last-minute reshuffles. For a goalkeeper, instability breeds chaos, but in the public's eye, nuance rarely matters. Confidence, so crucial for a keeper, wavered. Onana publicly apologized after a high-profile blunder in Europe, taking full responsibility. It was a display of character, but it also revealed the weight of expectation. Every game felt like an audition to justify his price tag. At the same time, the Premier League posed unique challenges. The speed of the press, the aerial bombardment from set pieces, the winter downpours that turn the ball slick. England tests a goalkeeper's nerve like few leagues can. Even seasoned veterans need time to adapt. Onana was asked to do it all while serving as the visible emblem of Ten Hag's tactical revolution. Criticism escalated. Was United's £50 million investment a mistake? Could Onana's continental style ever suit the bruising demands of English football? For a player still in his 20s, supposedly entering his prime, such questions cut deep, but history shows that André Onana has never followed a simple script. Remember the doping ban that nearly derailed him? He came back and reached a Champions League final. Remember the doubts about leaving Ajax? He conquered Italy in a single season. Each setback has so far become the prelude to a comeback. Supporters who watch closely also see the signs of adjustment. By the winter months, his distribution began to steady. His command of the penalty area grew more assertive. Behind the statistics lies a player gradually tuning his game to England's tempo. And while critics focused on early blunders, teammates praised his willingness to shoulder blame and keep demanding the ball. The bigger picture is that goalkeeping evolution rarely moves in a straight upward line. Legends from Gianluigi Buffon to Manuel Neuer have endured seasons of criticism before re-establishing their dominance. Form for a keeper is fragile. Confidence and cohesion can change everything. Still, the stakes at Old Trafford are unforgiving. United fans, long starved of consistent glory, have little patience for long-term experiments. Every week without clean sheets, every high-profile error fuels headlines about a career in trouble. And in the social media age, those headlines spread faster than any save highlight reel. So is André Onana's career really over? Not even close, but he stands at a crossroads familiar to many elite athletes. Adapt or be defined by the harshest months of your career. His story so far: Cameroonian prodigy, La Masia graduate, Ajax hero, Champions League finalist, suggests resilience is in his DNA. He has rebuilt himself after suspension, after transfers, after public doubt. The question now is whether he can transform early Premier League turbulence into the foundation for long-term success. In modern football, perception can shift overnight. One season of brilliance can silence a year of criticism. For Onana, the path to redemption isn't theoretical. It's already underway every time he steps onto the pitch. So while the headlines scream that his career is in crisis, remember this: if history has taught us anything about André Onana, it's that he thrives when people count him out. And that is why the story of his career is far from finished.